Hello everyone and welcome to a new reading vlog. My name is Lacey and I am currently in a cabin in the middle of the Great Smoky Mountains and I am going to do a reading vlog today. So we've been here for a few days. This is our last full day actually, and my husband and daughter are actually out at Dollywood. I decided not to go with them because not only is it very expensive, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to ride any of the rides that they have there. I love riding rides and I love theme parks, but I don't think Dollywood has any that I can actually ride because I just get really bad motion sickness, and all of Dollywood's rides look like they're pretty intense. So I am going to let Devin, my husband, and my daughter go and just have a good father-daughter day today. So they're excited about that. They're already gone, and I decided to stay back in the cabin so that I could read. And I am going to attempt to read an entire book today while they're gone, and that book is Twice Shy by Sarah Hoggle. And the reason why I chose this book is because it takes place in Pigeon Forge, or at least in the Smoky Mountains, and in a chalet or a cabin or whatever, and this is an adult romance book, and that's pretty much all I know about it. So it's only 299 pages or something like that. It's crazy short. It's right at 300, like exactly 300 pages. So it's really short and I'm hoping it'll be a really quick read. We're gonna find out together if I can do this all in one day. The book that I have been reading is Bloodleaf by Crystal Smith, and this is a book that my husband, who does not read at all, picked out for me in the bookstore. Actually, I had him pick out 3 books and then I chose from those 3 which ones I wanted to read. One of the books that he chose was a Disney retelling, and I just decided to skip that one for now because it was so thick. And then the other one he chose was very similar to Twice Shy in that it was an adult romance book, but I wanted something that was a little bit different so that I could keep them separate in my mind, and this was the other one he picked, so I decided to give it a go. I didn't know anything about this whenever he picked it up for me. I looked on Goodreads and it has decent reviews. In this book, she is a witch, and being a witch is forbidden. There is this community called the Tribunal who goes around and like finds these witches and publicly hangs them, and our main character here, and it says this in a synopsis, pretty early in the book she kind of accidentally reveals that she is a witch to a large group of people, and so she ends up fleeing her country. In the synopsis it says something amiss is also going on in that country, so it just sounds like it's going to have lots of different things going on in it, while also having this main character who is a witch trying to escape from this tribunal situation. So I'm hoping there's some romance in this book. It's already obvious to me that the guard, I think he's her guard, might be in love with her. I don't know, but she's also supposed to marry the prince of this other neighboring country. I don't know all the politics just yet, but she is engaged or betrothed to someone and has been for some time, and that's really all I know about it. I'm about 66 pages into it so far. I am going to read Twice Shy first today, and then if I do happen to finish this today, we'll get back into Bloodleaf. So yeah, that's the intro to this vlog, and let's get to reading. So I'm just sitting here flipping through this book and attempting to flip to the first page, and I come to the dedication page and it literally just says, I dedicate this book to myself. I don't know, that made me giggle a lot. You go, girl. Okay, I have read the first 3 chapters of Twice Shy, and here is what I'll say. So, in the very beginning of this book, we meet our main character, whose name is Maybelle. She works at this resort and spa in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and there is this girl who thinks that they're best friends, but we come to find out that this girl named Gemma is someone who has catfished Maybelle in the past. Gemma created this entire profile and basically started chatting with Maybelle. I think it was on Tinder. Maybelle started like having serious feelings for this person, and when Maybelle was trying to like take it to the next level, like maybe start talking on the phone or meet in person, that's when Gemma came clean about it, and So now we learn that Maybelle has just been spending all of her real time in this imaginary situation where she's actually still picturing this perfect person. So this person that she was starting to fall in love with was named Jack, and according to his photos, he was very attractive. Then we find out that our main character's great aunt Violet has passed away and consequently left her this entire estate, or I'm just a little confused as to the estate situation, because I believe that we have been left with an estate, or at least a cabin on the estate. I know there's also a manor, so I'm not entirely sure like what of the property technically belongs to Maybelle. But when she gets there, she finds out that she is co-inheriting this estate, or at least this cabin, with this man named Wesley. And Wesley is the man from the pictures that she fell in love with. Gemma used this man's pictures in order to pose as Jack and catfish Maybelle. Something that is kind of funny to me is that my family and I a few days ago went mini golfing at this place called Professor Hacker's Lost Treasure Golf. There's lots of different mini golf places here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, but that's the one we went to, and it is mentioned here in this book. I just thought it was hilarious because the character of Wesley, who is the one who is co-inheriting the cabin with Maybelle, and the one whose pictures that Maybelle fell in love with, went mini golfing at this place, and Gemma was working there, I guess, so she figured out who he was and used his pictures. I don't know, I just thought it was funny that I went there a couple days ago and it was mentioned in this book. So that's why I wanted to read this book while I was on this trip, because it is so easy to picture the cabin, the manor, the estate, the mountains, because I am here in it right now. Okay, so I am actually going to switch up scenery a little bit. I've been kind of holed up in my room in the cabin here, but the lighting in here is just garbage, and I think I want some fresh air, so I'm gonna go sit outside for a little bit and do some more reading. Alright, so I'm here for an update on Twice Shy. I am now 94 pages into it, so about a third of the way, so I'm making pretty good progress, though it is already afternoon, so I want to keep plugging through pretty good. Anyways, one thing I want to say about this book is that our main character Maybelle, like one of the things about her is that she has this tendency to drift into this like fantasy world. She spends a lot of time just daydreaming, and when this book shifts into those scenes of Maybelle just daydreaming, it's kind of an abrupt shift. I always have to like backtrack a little bit and reread a couple paragraphs back, because I always miss it when she like steps back into that fantasy version, or that alternate reality is what she kind of refers to it as. Now I have read one of those scenes in which she is now daydreaming about Wesley, this man that she has met, rather than Jack, who is the one that she fell in love with. So she is starting to actually shift into someone who might be interested in Wesley. At least she does talk about how good he looks all the time, and of course this picture is the same as the man that she fell in love with. He is a hard shell to crack though, so her personality has come through quite a bit in the more recent chapters that I've read in the past few pages, so that is good because she is interacting with him more, and consequently his personality is coming out a little bit more too. So while he is really attractive, I personally haven't found any reason for us to root for them as a couple yet. So I'm sure it will happen at some point, and that there will be a big blowout also, you know, like a big climax to the story as well. So we'll see what that ends up being, but I can tell you that they have both inherited this manor, this house, this cabin. I'm still confused about that. They have different ideas for what they should do with it, of course. So our main character Maybelle wants to make it into a hotel, and the love interest Wesley wants it to be like a farm sanctuary for aging animals. So those are obviously two very different things, and now they've come to this agreement that maybe they'll try to do some kind of compromise and do both of those things. So Maybelle says, well, maybe the first floor only can be rented out for hotel rooms, and maybe they can have some kind of small sanctuary as well. So it'll be interesting to see those things come together, and I am anxious for some like flirtation to start happening here. I am assuming that there will be at least a couple of scenes of smut in this book. I really don't know though. I have read adult romance in the past that did not have any smut in it. So we will see where this one falls on the scale, and I am excited nonetheless to get into their romance a little bit more. So hopefully now that I am a good 33% into this book, that stuff will start coming out more. Do you see what I mean when I say that the lighting in here is terrible? But anyways, I did want to mention that I am still reading Twice Shy, and I am now a little bit past the halfway point, so I'm 166 pages into this, and I have to say I have reached a point in this book where it is so cute, like swoon-worthy moment after another, and I cannot stop reading it. I will say the writing in this book is super weird, and it does dip in and out of making sense, especially with the way the author abruptly goes into those scenes where the main character is just daydreaming. The writing is weird and quirky, but I don't hate it. It's just a big adjustment to what I had been reading previously, which was like a YA fantasy book that has that like old school feel to it, if you know what I mean. It's not an old book, but it feels like it is, kind of. But anyways, this is just such an abruptly different type of writing from that it's a lot to get used to. But I'm having such a good time with this, and it's so precious, can't stop reading like I said. So I'm going to keep plugging away, and maybe once something exciting happens, I'll let you know. I mean, it's definitely exciting. The two are bonding quite a bit, and I love how they're becoming friends now, and our main character is realizing that she is developing this crush on him, and she's like super worried that it will be unrequited, or that if something did happen between them and it didn't work out, that it would be awkward because they own this home together. And I just can't wait to see how it all comes down, because obviously it's going to somehow. So can't wait to keep plugging through, and yeah, I only have about 140 pages left, so I'm gonna get back to reading now. Okay, so I'm not finished with the book yet. I have about 80 pages left, 75 pages left, something like that. I'm going to plug through it as soon as I finish this clip. But I have to say, this book is not really so much a slow burn. At least it doesn't feel that way because I'm reading the book all in one sitting. But it's not the dirtiest book ever, and still don't know if it's gonna have a smut scene in it or not. But I have to say, I really like it. As much as like I can feel the tension between them and the sexual chemistry, and I would like to see that played out, or like for them to explore that part of their relationship. I am a person who has to have a romance established in a relationship before I can really get behind the sexual aspects of it. So I'm really loving that these two people are becoming friends and developing a romance before getting to that stage. And there's also another kind of thing that comes into play as to kind of why they're not just jumping right out the gates with the sexual stuff. So I won't spoil anything, but I have to say that I'm really enjoying the fact that they're taking the time to explore their friendship and what this could possibly be turning into, and not just going straight for the bed. So I am really enjoying this. Like I said, I still can't put it down, and yeah, I'm gonna finish it real quick and then we'll chat about it when I'm done. Okay, I just filmed that last clip where I said I was gonna finish the book right now, but I haven't read very many pages since then, like 15 or something like that. But my family's actually on their way back to the cabin, so that probably concludes my reading of this book in this cabin. So what I'm going to do is finish this book off camera, and then I'll probably be back home whenever I get a chance to get back on here and chat with you guys about it. So yeah, I just wanted to explain the abrupt change in scenery, and we'll chat later after I've finished, which may be when I get home. Hello everyone, it has been a couple days since my last clip, and I did do what I set out to do. So I think I had about 65 pages left in the book, and I did finish that yesterday, which was the day after the last clip was filmed. And I read a little bit on my way home from the Smoky Mountains, but also just like in the afternoon after we got home. So I know it appeared that I was really enjoying this book, because I was. I think like reading a book really quickly like that really helps my enjoyment of it, because everything seems like so quick and fast paced, and this one in particular was hard to put it down because the romance was just so sweet. The romance in this book was so sickly sweet that it's almost ridiculous. I think I'm going to give this a 4-star rating. I can see that it doesn't really deserve that rating. Like, it is so cheesy, and there's not really much rise and fall in the book. It's just like they meet and they fall in love, and there are a couple of interesting things that are explored in this book. Like, it's revealed that our main male love interest does have this like severe social anxiety, and we get to see him work through that a little bit. And I think that was, I don't know if it was represented well or not. It seemed a little extreme to me, or a little far-fetched, but I really don't know what it's like to be in those situations. But I did think it was handled well. The female lead did a good job of interacting with him to like work through that, and I thought that was well done. And there was just a lot of really cute things throughout the story, like mixed in with these kind of harder hitting things, or just like more serious things. So I do think that the book was really cute and really enjoyable, but I can see where it doesn't really deserve like a 4 or 5 star rating. The writing is like super weird, but I also kind of enjoyed it at times. So I don't know. I'm giving it a 4-star rating, which does seem generous, but that was just my experience of reading it. My experience was a 4-star experience, which is that I had a really good time with it. There were times where I couldn't put the book down. I was sad whenever I had to put the book down at the end of that last clip. Some time away from it is what made me realize that like maybe it's not the best book ever. But I did have a good time reading it, and I would recommend it, especially if you are going to the Smoky Mountains and are looking for a book to read while you're there. I thought it was the perfect book to read. Like I said, I went to the golf course that was mentioned in the book, and it's just really interesting to think about a cabin in the woods while being in the cabin in the woods. So I had a good time with it. I'm going to give it a 4-star rating, like I said. And I am going to end this vlog, but I know I talked about Bloodleaf a little bit in the beginning of this vlog, so I just wanted to mention that I am now getting into this pretty hardcore. So I'm right at the 100-page mark in this out of 373 pages, and I don't know anything about it, but I'm excited to see where it goes from here. So the synopsis of this book is basically what's happened so far, and it's interesting, and I'm excited about it. And like I said, it's really fun, really interesting to read a book that I have not heard anybody else talk about ever. So I am going to be reading this probably off camera. I'm not going to vlog it, but be looking for a recent reads video in which I discuss this book relatively soon. And yeah, so yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and leave me some comments down below. I love to chat with you guys in the comments section, and subscribe if you have not done so already. I do post a new video every once in a while. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!